bet you've heard of Roald Dahl's fantastically funny tale of Mr. and Mrs. Twit. But I bet you haven't heard our sneaky version of tale, have you? I'm the storyteller, and this is our revolting version of the Twits. So, sit down quietly, hide behind the cushion or chair, and prepare to meet the Twits!
They're shocking!
They're smelly.
They're silly!
They're stupefying the stupid.
Get ready to meet
The one and only.
the Twits! The best way to describe the Twits is disgusting!
I mean, what would you say for Mr. Twit, for example?
Well, yeah, I was with you, take him for example, Mr. Twit.
I was revolting as a giant slimy green bogey hanging off your nose on a wet and rainy day. I have a large, round, fat tummy and bottom, which rumbles every time I let out a giant burp, which is rather often because of all the gas from the cider that I drink. I'm revolting and nasty, and have a rather grumpy temper. I have a hairy face, which is round like an enormous giant egg, and I smell like an enormous bottom burp. The hair's all spiky and stick out straight like the bristles of a nail brush. I even have hair sprouted from my nose and my ears. But I think that my hairiness makes me look terrifically wise and grand indeed.
But in truth, he was neither grand nor wise. Mr. Twit was a twit! He was a born twit, and now at the age of 60, he was a bigger twit than ever. And how often did Mr. Twit wash his bristly face of this?
Never!
Never!
And not even on Sundays!
As a result, there were always hundreds and hundreds of bits of old breakfasts.
And lunches!
And supper.
Sticking to his hairs.
Bits of gravy.
Scraped off scrambled egg.
Spinach.
Tomato ketchup.
Like his fingers.
Chicken mince livers.
Olives.
Oh, hang on a minute. Roly's a bit too posh for this story.
What about some minced chicken livers?
Disgusting.
Or a piece of maggoty green cheese?
Oh, yeah.
Or the slimy tail of a tinned sardine?
Mr. Twit was the most revolting, nastiest man that ever lived. There was only one other person more revolting than Mr. Twit, and that was...
Mrs Twit!
Hi, I'm Mrs. Twit, and I've got a face like a giant baboon bottom. It's all red and rosy, and I've got a hairy spiky chin, because I never shave it. I'm as thin as a garden rake or a slimy snake. So heavens knows why I'm so slim, because I spend all day eating rotten food. I love to eat raw meat, because I'm too lazy to cook it properly. I love to wear frumpy dresses, and I have a long, big walking stick. But my hair is always in knots and tangles, because I never brush it. I know it's terrible. Oh, but you know, I wasn't always this pretty.
In fact, she was quite a pretty girl when she was younger, but she had ugly and unkind thoughts every day.
Every week.
Every month.
Every year.
And so her face got uglier.
And uglier.
And uglier and grosser.
Closer.
And more revolting.
And now I can barely look at it. Out!
But the Twits were a happy married couple. What made them so happy was that they used to play practical jokes on one another.
Oh, here, my dear, I've made you some delicious homemade beer, especially for you.
Oh, why, thank you, my lovely. Oh, this beer is delicious. What's the secret ingredient?
You take them. Crunched and schnauzer, mashed up doggy poo.
Oh, you brute, you swine! You just wait till I get my hands on you!
Mrs. Twit was determined to get Mr. Twit back. Suddenly, she had an idea. The next day, while he was sitting in his favorite armchair having a snooze, she dropped her glass eye into his cup of tea. Suddenly, Mr. Twit woke up. He opened one eye, then the other.
What are you plotting?
Nothing. Why would I be plotting?
Well, you're awful at plotting tricks. Worse and worse. I'm watching you, Mrs. Twit.
Oh.
I'm watching you.
Really? Are you sure it's not me who's watching you?
Just at that moment, Mr. Twit drank his tea. As he did, a single drum beat rolled until...
Ah! It's one of your glass eyes. That's disgusting. Ah!
I told you I was watching you. I've got eyes everywhere. So you better be careful.
They're shocking!
They're smelly.
They're silly!
They're stupefyingly stupid.
Get ready!
To meet
The one and only...
the
Twits!
Mr. and Mrs. Twit had a nephew. He was Mrs. Twit's younger sister's boy. His name was James. James was a small, timid boy with a pale skin and lovely blonde hair. Unlike the Twits, he was a kind boy, but he was also sad. He was an orphan. Since he lost his parents, he has been living with Mr. and Mrs. Twit. They did not treat him right. In fact, they treated him like a slave.
Make me a cup of tea.
Take out the rubbish.
Fetch me my slippers.
Sweep the kitchen floor.
Clean the toilet.
And wash my smelly socks.
James was desperately unhappy. He wasn't allowed to have friends or to go out and play. The only time he was allowed out was when he visited the neighbor, Miss Kimball. She gave him maths lesson. She was that nice. Funny too. You see, Mr. Twit was a stickler for maths, timetables especially. Hi, James. I made us the little cakes while we were doing our 5 times timetable. Extra one for you to have a little midnight feast when we are done. Miss Kimball was a good person, but still, James was lonely.
What are you doing looking out that window?
You get 50 finger backs all over the glass.
The other children are outside playing. Can I go and join them?
Why would you want to do that?
So I can go make some friends.
Ah, friends.
Friends?
What a stupid idea.
Oh, what a ridiculous idea.
Who would want to be friends with you?
Nobody. You're short.
And ugly.
And you speak with a squeaky voice.
And your hair's too long.
And you are incredibly boring.
No one will like you.
No one at all.
No one, no.
Even your parents didn't like you.
No.
That's why they went away.
But Miss Kimball likes me. She says I'm a very nice person.
Miss Kimball is even more stupider.
Stupider isn't a word.
Yes, it is. Isn't it? Yes, it is, because I said so.
Please, can I just go outside? It's lonely in here.
But we're here.
But you're not my friends.
Oh, how
Oh.
ungrateful.
Friends are for fools. Friends are for weak people. Friends are for stupid people.
Well, it would be nice to see for myself.
Oh, all right then, you can go and make some friends.
Really?
Really?
Have after you've done all your chores. Listen up, James, our young lad dear. There's chores to do, no room for cheer. Make the beds, keep them neat, fold them tidy, no room for cheats.
Wash and soak our smelly feet. Scrub them well, don't miss a beat. Sweep and clean the kitchen floor. No crumbs, no mess. Flawless for sure.
Dust the doggy laundry cupboard door. Keep it thorough, James, don't ignore. Iron our clothes and underwear, smooth as silk, love and care.
Puff up the cushions on our armchair. Fluff them up, make them fit for airs. Peel that giant sack of potatoes. Don't be slow, we want no delays now.
Peel and slice that box of tomatoes. Be precise, Jim, no bravados. Fold and put away our clothes. Keep them neat, no wrinkles, it shows.
File and paint my dainty toes. Choose colours that prop, not just prose. Scrub the bathtub till it's clean, no grime, no mess, a sparkling scene.
Wash our false teeth till they gleam.
Keep them bright like a radiant beam.
James, these chores we entrust to you.
With diligence and care, we
They
must be pursued.
pursued.
Yeah!
High five! Another one. Of this.
And then can I go outside?
Yeah, of course.
Precisely.
And so James set off rushing around trying his best to get all the chores done. And what did Mr. and Mrs. Twit do all day? Yup, you guessed it. They sat on their bums doing nothing. Finally, James finished, but it was too dark.
Oh, look. They've all gone home.
Well, that's friends for you. Hopeless.
Told you no one would like you.
No one at all.
We were right.
We're always right.
Poor James. He was so disappointed.
Maybe one day I'll have some friends.
Mr. and Mrs. Twit were truly disgusting people. One day at the dinner table, Mr. Twit almost jumped out of his seat.
I've had an idea.
Did it hurt?
I'm going.
Further the better.
No, shh. I'm going to run a circus.
Run a circus? Well, that's a daft idea. You can't even run a naked spoon race.
No, just you watch me try. I'm going to capture loads of animals, train them to do clever tricks. I'm going to make us rich and famous.
Animals? What animals?
Oh, the monkeys and the birds and maybe some children.
Monkeys? Monkeys? Where are you going to get monkeys from?
The Amazon.
Amazon? Oh, you're such a twit! You can't buy monkeys from Amazon even if you have Amazon Prime!
No, you silly twit. We're going to capture the monkeys and the birds from the Amazon rainforest.
Oh.
Can I come too?
No, you must stay here and finish your chores.
True to his word, the Twit set off the very next day and traveled to the Amazon rainforest. Mrs. Twit didn't like it very much.
Oh, it's so hot and stinky. My knickers are stuck up my bottom. Oh, 1 minute it's hot and sunny and the next minute it's raining. I hate it here! Take me back!
No,
Yes!
no,
Yes!
no.
Yes!
Oh,
But Mr. Twit was determined to find some monkeys and some birds, and so he did. Deep inside the forest, he found a family of Muggle-Wump monkeys and a colorful, roly-poly bird. The Muggle-Wump monkeys were rare and very intelligent creatures. They were brown and black and had long arms which they could stretch out to grab hold of the tree branches and swing and leap about. They were fast and cheeky too. The roly-poly bird was bright and rainbow-colored with a long beak and a high-pitched squeak. The roly-poly bird was rather posh and spoilt animal and was used to be admired and free to flaunt its good looks and often looked down on other creatures. Mr. Twit captured them on the rope and net and hid them in a big wooden crate, all squashed so they could hardly even breathe. Then he brought them back here in England. Back in England, the Twits prepared the Muggle-Wumps for work.
Arms up. Arms up. Pretty little monkey. Stay still. Turn around. In. Out.
Oh, look at you. What a good little monkey you are. Here. Oh, pretty little monkey. Ah, cutesy, witsy, pretty monkey. Oh, look at you, so handsome. Lily, human.
Don't move till I tell you. Up. Turn. Arm. Leg. You.
Oh, cutesy, witsy, little.
But the more the Twits barked orders at them, the more they resisted.
Oh, I've had enough of this. I'm going to my bed.
But Mr. Twit refused to be defeated and continued.
Up. Down. Stay. Turn. Jump. Back. Roll. Go. Turn.
But it was no use. Mr. Twit quickly lost his patience and gave up and went to bed, muttering under his breath.
Just so unfair.
If only I could get out of these chains. I'd show them who was what for. I'd punch them up the nose and I'd box their ears and I'd turn them up to the sky and drop them over the thigh.
Be careful then, Grandpa. You don't hurt your back again.
Oh, nonsense is laughing me yet, you mean? I'm as fit as a fiddle, me, I mean. You let me up, those pesky twits. Back.
Oh, now look what you've done, you silly Muggle-Wump.
Mum, Dad,
Yes, dear.
this place stinks. Try and shut your eyes. But I want to go home.
We all want to go home, but we're stuck here. We're doomed!
Okay. Nonsense. We just need to find a way out of here. We Muggle-Wumps never give up.
Hey, let's not get up. Keep it up. I've been stuck in some worse situations than this. Let me tell you. I was stung. Did I ever tell you about the time I was stung by a snake? And then there was and I was chased up a tree by some human beings. Oh yeah. And I was nearly shot. And then there was a great fire. And then, the war.
Okay, all right, please. No war, please.
I'm cold and I'm hungry. Cuddle up to me and try and get some
Another
sleep.
person who couldn't sleep was James. He knew that something was going on, but had been told to stay in his room and wasn't allowed out. The Twits hadn't even said hello to him when they arrived home, nor thanked him for the lovely dinner he had made for their homecoming. Now, we all know how the children can be curious, and James was no different. Once he knew that the Twits were asleep, he crept down to the basement where the Muggle-Wumps were being kept.
Wow!
Don't hurt us! Please don't eat us!
Let me at him! Let me at him!
I'm not going to hurt you. I'm James, and I thought you might be hungry, so I brought you some food. There's some berries and some grapes too.
It's going to skin us alive. Or worse, stop us like puppets!
everybody stand back. Don't get too close.
I'm not going to stuff you, honest.
They were not sure. James did look rather peculiar to them. In fact, it was the little Muggle-Wump who made the first move.
Well, I don't think you will hurt us. Well, I am little Muggle-Wump. These are my parents. That's my grandpa, and that's Roly.
Don't come anywhere near me! Don't come anywhere near me!
I'm James.
Thank you, James. We're very grateful for the food. You see, we haven't been fed in days. We are starving.
Mr. and Mrs. Twit are very forgetful like that.
Well, we really want to go home, and I miss my friends terribly.
Friends? I don't have any friends.
No friends at all?
No, Mr. and Mrs. Twit don't let me have any. They keep me here to do the chores and then it's off to bed for me.
Chores? Chores? I don't like chores.
They only make us do tricks and do silly performances for them.
Mr. Twit wants to start up his own circus and make lots of money.
Now, they don't sound like very nice people to me.
Little Muggle-Wump was wondering if these were his parents.
Are they your mother and father?
Oh no, I'm an orphan. My parents died. Mrs. Twit was my aunt and she took me in, but she doesn't like me very much. And the only person around here who does like me is Miss Kimball, our neighbour.
The mother was horrified.
That is terrible. You seem like a sweet boy too.
I miss my parents a lot.
I miss my home too.
Now, everyone. Let's not all get down. We Muggle-Wumps are happy creatures.
Oh, well, bright side. We've been chained and taken from our home. It's cold and dark here. And we're just made to do tricks for those greedy, selfish, horrible people. And we're stuck and we can't escape and we're doomed!
Nonsense! There's always hope. Do you remember the Muggle-Wumps rhyme?
What's the Muggle-Wumps from?
The ancient rhyme that we tell in times of despair and sadness. Oh, and it's to be told of generation to generation.
It's just a silly rhyme that cheers us up when we're down.
Oh God, that's all we need, a rhyme with silly actions.
All right, everyone. Let's say it all together. In 1, 2, 3.
Stomp your feet on the ground. Snap your fingers and make a sound. Wave your hands up in the air. Make your face and do a step. Do the Muggle dance if you're feeling down and turn that frown upside down. Clap your hands loud and clear. Tap your feet and let us hear. Wiggle your hips from side to side and jump up and down with glee and pride. Do the Muggle dance if you're feeling down and turn that frown upside down. Do your best, you'll always be kind, cause very good friends are hard to find.
And now let's join everybody in 1, 2, 3.
Stomp your feet on the ground. Snap your fingers and make a sound. Wave your hands up in the air and make a funny face and do a stare. Do the Muggle dance if you're feeling down and turn that frown upside down. Clap your hands loud and clear. Tap your feet and let us hear. Wiggle your hips from side to side and jump up and down with glee and pride. Do the Muggle dance if you're feeling down and turn that frown upside down. Do your best to always be kind, cause very good friends are hard to find.
I do feel a lot better now.
See, it does help.
Right. I'm going to help you try and find a way to escape. You can go back home.
Just then they heard a noise from the Twits' bedroom. Mr. Twit was coming downstairs.
What sort of noise? Who's there?
James urged everybody to pretend to be asleep.
Quick!
But it was too dark, and James was hiding. Mr. Twit peered around the room, squinting his eyes, but could not see anything. Just then, he scratched his head, He scratched his bottom and picked his nose.
Are you sleepwalking again, Mr. Twit? Oh, you're such a twit.
And with that, he left and went back to bed. The next day, Mr. and Mrs. Twit were sitting in their armchairs after a long day of trying to train the Muggle-Wumps. Now, do you remember that the Twits liked nothing more than to play nasty tricks on each other?
Those bloomin' monkeys, they're a waste of space.
Shut up, fungus face.
Well, they're just a load of woolly-wollies, that's all they are.
Well, that's all you know, camel breath.
Well, all I know is that you will never train them chattering Charlies.
I will.
You won't.
I will.
You won't.
I will.
Won't.
I won't.
Gotcha! What are you doing now?
Mr. Twit was reminded of the time when Mrs. Twit had fooled him with her glass eye. He decided to pay Mrs. Twit back. He snuck outside and picked up a little frog from the garden and brought it back inside.
Come on, fat froggy. Do your slimy, grimy worst.
Then, when Mrs. Twit wasn't looking, he snuck the frog under Mrs. Twit's blanket.
What are you plotting? I know that face.
I'm not plotting anything, you silly old hag. Oh, what's the matter, light of my life? Oh, I bet it's that giant skillywiggler. Yes, the giant skillywiggler jumped out my suitcase when I got back from the Amazon rainforest. Yes. I tried to kill it, but it got away. It disappeared under a pile of your knickers. It's got teeth like screwdrivers. It'll bite off your toes and nibble your knees. By Jove, it's a giant skillywiggler.
He's tickling my tummy. You brute! You swine! You Gabby scumbag! You sneaky snake! You scabby skimming scallop! You just wait! You just wait!
Mrs. Twit, as you might expect it, quickly decided to get her own back on Mr. Twit for his evil trick. So, later that evening, she brought him a dinner.
Darling, I've made you some mouth-watering spaghetti.
Oh, I love spaghetti. Oh. It tastes divine.
Yeah.
It tastes delicious.
Well, that must be the new special ingredient.
What special ingredient?
Oh, it's a special new type of spaghetti. It's called slimy spaghetti.
It does taste squishy. It does taste squashy.
Would you like to know what the special ingredient is?
I would.
Would you like to know? It's
You scabby old scumbag! You sneaky old snake! You scheming old scallop! You wait! You just wait!
Near the window stood a big dead tree. Every evening as the sun went down, birds would fly in from far around to roost for the night on its branches. On one particular night, as the Muggle-Wumps relaxed after a hard day's training,
Mum! Dad! Look! Look at the birds!
Oh, those blooming birds are back again. Oh, I hate them. They're messy creatures. Go on, on, shoot! Go away, go!
Wait.
What?
They could be our supper.
What?
Tasty. Tickle your palate, bird pie.
Don't they like those birds, Mum? I don't think they do.
Bird pie? Bird pie? That'll be me soon. Ah!
Hold on tight, I'm just gonna grab my net.
No, you're such a twit. You're never going to catch them creatures. They're far too quick for you.
Now just watch me try.
Go on. Oh, you clumsy warthog!
No, I will catch them.
No, you won't.
Just you wait and see.
No, you won't. Won't. What are you doing now?
Mr. Twit ran out of the room and came back carrying a tin of glue.
Glue?
I'm going to glue all the branches of the tree. So when the birds land, they'll never be able to fly away again. Coat every branch with hug-tight glue. Birds, I've got a big surprise for you. Slop it and slap it and spread it along. Soon you'll sing your final song. Land on a tree and you'll never get free. Tough titties, hard luck, you'll be stuck. So stand by, birds, for a great big fright. Stand by, Twits, it's bird pie tonight.
Those nasty twits, those horrible beings!
Let me at them! Let me get my hands on them!
We have to do something.
Later that night, the Muggle-Wumps told James what Mr. Twit had planned to do to the birds.
We have to do something. We can't let them turn those birds into bird pie.
Grandpa
This is time for a plan. Oh, yes. It's a mission to escape, to protect the vulnerable, to make a stand, to do what's right. We will find them on the beaches. We will find them on the landing grounds. We will find them in the fields and in the streets. We will find them in the hills. We will never surrender.
I'm not sure about fighting. I might get my feathers crumpled and I might stay here.
Just have to find a way out of these chains.
The key. Mr. Twit has the only key, but he keeps it in his pocket.
Do you think you could get it?
Can't ask James to do that, it's far too dangerous.
I can. I will.
Oh, that's my boy. That's my boy. You're the perfect soldier the first time I saw you. Oh, you'll go far.
Just be careful, James.
The next day, while Mr. and Mrs. Twit were having their morning nap in their armchairs, James decided to strike.
And James was off. He carefully tiptoed across the floorboards, making sure he didn't step on any of the creaky ones. He reached over and then heard a noise. Was it a lorry? Was it a car? No, it was a motorbike buzzing down the road. James froze like a statue. The Twits stayed still, snoring and muttering in their sleep. James carefully moved over towards Mr. Twit. He knelt beside him and put his hand up into his coat jacket pocket. He pulled the pocket open and felt the key. Suddenly, Mr. Twit stirred and muttered in his sleep. James gasped. He gulped. His heart almost stopped a beat. He reached back up into the pocket, and then Mrs. Twit suddenly twitched.
Strawberry and cream. Chocolate custard. Yum, yum. Russell Crowe in Gladiator.
Okay. And while she's dreaming again, James reached back inside the pocket. He got the key, but he almost dropped it. Sweat was dripping down his forehead. He nearly died. He backed away from Mr. Twit. He's done it. He's got the key. The Muggle-Wumps screamed at him, but they didn't. James
The next morning, James crept down to the Muggle-Wumps and Roly-Poly bird and gave them the key. They unlocked the chains immediately.
Oh, well done, lad. You done yourself proud.
Not yet. You have to save those birds.
Birds? What birds?
Those twits, they've put glue all over the trees, so if the birds fly down, they'll get stuck and made into bird pie. We have to do something!
But if you try and escape, the Twits might catch you.
Well, we can't just let you do it by yourself, James. It wouldn't be fair.
Father's right. You're our friend, and friends stick together.
Friend? I've never had a friend before.
Well, now you've got 5.
Well, speak for yourself. I'm nobody's friend.
Ignore Roly-Poly bird. She's just grumpy.
But how are we going to save them?
I have a plan. How about you guys still pretend like you're chained up, and then when the birds fly near enough for them to hear us, we shout this rhyme. There's sticky stuff all over the tree. Don't land on the branches or you'll never get free. Fly up, high, or you'll end up tonight in a hot bird pie.
It's a brilliant idea.
Hurry up, Mrs Twit, get on, move on.
Look, everyone, into position.
Great hairy turn up and right behind
Come on,
you.
you dozy donuts.
Oh,
You don't want to miss all the fun.
well, as long as it works.
Of course it will work. My plans always work. Stand by, birds, for a great big fright. Stand by, Twits, it's bird pie tonight. No, they're coming.
Shh, you scare them away.
And so the birds began to flutter close by.
Quick, here goes.
There's sticky stuff all over that tree. If you land on the branches, you'll never get free. So fly away, stay up high. Or you'll finish off tonight in a hot bird pie.
Oh, typical. You are useless, you great big twit.
I don't get it. Why didn't they land? It's so unfair, that's it.
Mr. Twit was in a terrible mood. He was not a man to be beaten either. Bird pie he wanted, and bird pie he was determined to have.
You are useless, bird pie. No chance.
Mr. Twit concluded that it must be something that was warning them.
Ah, something must be warning them. Next time, we'll open the window. When them birds fly down, because they love chatting to them roaming monkeys and a roly-poly bird.
Yeah.
I bet it was them that warned them.
Yes.
I have an idea, Mr. Twit.
Oh, where did you come from?
How about you paint all the furniture and the ceiling with glue? That way, when the birds land, they'll be stuck.
No, we're not painting anything with glue. Not a chance. That's a ridiculous idea.
Oh, it's a brilliant idea. I love it.
And then you can go out, and when you come back, they'll be stuck everywhere.
Exactly.
Why would we want to go out?
Well, to go and buy some guns to shoot all the birds. Hold on, Mrs. Twit.
And so, as silly as it sounded,
Help me glue it.
that's what they did. They glued the furniture, they glued the window, they glued the ceiling, they even glued the armchairs.
Come on, Mrs. Twit, let's go get some guns.
I just want to glue her.
And they were off.
Now what do we do?
Now it's time for clever plan number 2.
Down with the Twits!
But how?
Teach them a lesson.
Pound them with a stick.
Glue them to the roof.
Oh, pick their nose.
Make Twit pie.
Make them have a bath.
Make them do tricks.
Chain them up.
Indeed, what a splendid idea.
Turn them upside down.
They quickly took hold of that was left of Twit's furniture, which was already glued, and stuck it to the ceiling.
How do you suppose we
do that. We're performing in a library, and we need a health and safety check, and a risk assessment hasn't been done.
Oh, very well. Okay, right. Close your eyes and imagine this. The Muggle-Wumps all jumped into the action. They picked up all the furniture and glued it to the ceiling. The table, the cushions, the fireplace, even the armchairs, until everything looked...
Upside down!
It looked a peculiar sight indeed.
Now, we all hide, and when they come back, we jump out at them with a net and give them a great big scare.
Just then, the Twits returned.
Oh! What happened? Why is my armchair upside down?
Why, it's the fireplace and the table on the ceiling.
Oh, maybe it's us that's upside down.
Oh, our tummy doesn't feel right.
Oh, my legs feel all wibbly wobbly.
Oh, I feel dizzy.
Oh, the room is spinning round and round.
Ah!
Now!
Suddenly jumped out and covered the Twits with an axe.
Oh, no,
Then they wrapped the chain around them.
The monkey's attacking us. Help!
And then the roly-poly bird began to fly around them, squeaking very loudly.
This place will never come back.
The bird's gonna eat us.
The roly-poly bird then chased the Twits out of the door, and they were never seen again.
Thanks to James's wonderful, fabulous plans.
Your plan worked. You saved us, James.
That's what friends are for.
Oh, then why don't you come back with us?
I don't think children can live in the Amazon rainforest. Although, I do know of someone who will take me in, and she makes the best cookies.
And so the roly-poly bird and the birds which they had saved took the Muggle-Wumps back to the Amazon rainforest where they belong. Miss Kimball indeed was delighted to let James live with her. In fact, because no one ever heard from the Twits again, she was even allowed to adopt him. James loved living with Miss Kimball. Sure, he still had some chores to do, but only a few. And he was allowed to go out and play with his friends. And they all lived happily ever after.
All right, everyone. Let's do the the Muggle-Wump rhyme one more time, okay? And we're gonna go in 1, 2, 3.
Stomp your feet on the ground. Stamp your feet and make